I'm StoneMountain 64. Today, we are doing the Fireside Gaming Podcast live out for everybody. Typically, I've been doing this as something that was for my supporters, that was early access, recorded live with them, and then, eventually we'd put it up about 3-4 days later for everybody on all the podcasting platforms. However, I feel like a lot of people have been missing it and not seeing it. So today I wanted to try putting it out just for everybody. So if you guys want to kick back and grab a drink, I know a lot of the Mountaineers, the supporters out here are going to be familiar with it. Sometimes we do bring on some guests. Today we're not going to have any, but it should be, there's literally so much to talk about. It's pretty ridiculous right now. Especially because I actually missed last week because I was moving. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But this is it, man. Apex Season 3 trailer literally just released about, 30, 40 minutes prior to this happening. Now, I did actually watch it. I was going to wait and watch it live on stream, but I decided I was just going to watch it so we could talk about it today on this. And I commented on it. I tweeted. I put it on Instagram. I am insanely hyped. I've been dying for something new in this season. I've been saying that I was hoping there would be some type of new map. The question is how they're going to implement this, but it looks like there is. It is. There is a new map confirmed. So I actually have the trailer up here. If you are just listening to this, you're probably not going to hear it. It's a short trailer or see it, but I do want to show it here.
Pack your bags. We're moving to a new arena. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm afraid of another planet.
Another planet.
What was that?
Completely different planet. Crypto's already here as well.
Anyway, I've been saying all along we needed.
This is what the game has literally.
Whoever took the tower down.
To me, it's been needing. We need to have some other new place that we can go, something else that we can do.
Hey, buddy.
I already know the map so well, and the change they made for Season 2 was cool, but it really, it wasn't like all that much to me. It was nice, and the places that they added were cool. The Octane Arena was sick. The new Void Rift thing they added was awesome as well. So they're all on the dropship going in, and it looks like it's a different dropship now for the next season. The planet is completely green. It's got sharp mountains. It's got a lava area. It's got an ice area. So as you can see, they're stealing back from Fortnite, right? Fortnite stole the res ship and or the reses and all that. So they're taking a little bit back here. Now, if you also saw later in the trailer, and you can see it on the side here as well, there's a giant what looks like a train track going through the mountain, and on part of this is there's a train, a moving train that's going through the map. As well as Octane just jumped off a jump pad into a hydro spout that gave him an extra air. And then we got our first glimpse at Crypto. We've seen a lot of leaks, a lot of rumors, a lot of everything coming from this guy. But now we have something more concrete. And right there, his drone is actually what seemed to EMP all the other stuff that was there. Or the other guys that was there. And we knew, like, he'd probably have some type of EMP or something. So most likely, it looks like that's how it's going to work. And then we got to see a little bit of the train, as well as the charge rifle, which we saw a lot of that back in Titanfall 2, as well as Titanfall 1, because they were like anti-tank weapons. But this looks like it, I don't know, it charged up, straight beam, knocks him back. It looks really interesting. So I'm really, really excited with the direction that they're going on it. And I just want to see it and actually see some real gameplay of it, see what it's going to look like. But those are the really big things that I've seen from it. It seems to be like, obviously this is very new from when I'm recording this, but it seems to be very well received from everything that I can see. Let me actually look at the like ratio on this. Dude, this already has 23,000 likes on it. It hasn't even been an hour since this launched. makes me happy, dude. That makes me happy. Literally so many comments I see on all the content that I post because I love, like, I've been playing this game so much and I love it so much. And, you know, everybody's like, oh, this game's dead. This game's dead. Honestly, it is definitely less people playing it than what there was, but it makes me excited, man. It makes me excited to see them continue to improve it, make more moves. There's still some stuff too, like we haven't seen the battle pass yet. We don't know what that's going to contain. Season 2 battle pass was a little better, definitely, than Season 1. Season 1 was really rough. Season 2 is a little better. I still think it could be a lot better, personally, especially compared to some of the, like, I still didn't really, I don't know. I think there's still a lot of room for them to improve, but the core game, and that's the thing, like, people still ask me, like, oh, what battle royale would you want in the genre right now in the space? This is what I had wanted. I wanted a class-based, like, I wanted Overwatch to make a battle royale, but now we got this instead, and this has been pretty damn good. So they also talked about the Season 3 changes, which are coming, like, at least for the ranked side of things. Like, they talked a little bit about Season 3. On the ranked side, they're going to be dropping everybody back 6 of the rank stats, which is like if you're Diamond 4, then you go all the way back to Plat, and then down 2 more of the minor ones, which is like the numbers. I think that's cool. I think it's a good way to do it. I hated the grind up in the first place, going through bronze where you can't even go down. That's just like a time commitment to get in silver. Like, it's just a grind to level up and to play ranked. But, like, to me, the purpose of ranked is to play against other people that are in a similar standing as you, and that makes a lot of sense. So I'm happy to see that. I think that's a good way to do it. The bigger problem with ranked, though, and I've experienced this because just in the last week, we got to Diamond at the beginning of the season, and after that, I just stopped playing it. We just got bored. I don't know. We played other things. People didn't want to play it. I couldn't get other people to play in Predator with me, and I really wasn't trying that hard. I just enjoyed playing the casual game anyways. But going back now in this last week, I've been playing some Predator. Yesterday, the day before, you can't, at least during the day, which, to be fair, yeah, there's going to be less people playing during the day. That's typically when I'm streaming and making content. There is nobody playing up at the Diamond and Predator levels. So you have to play on EU. You have to play in Europe in order to do it. And it just really, it sucks. It really sucks having to do that because now you're playing with ping. You got a whole bunch of other issues and stuff to deal with. And it's just, it's not great. And I don't know what the solution is because there's just not enough Predators to even keep all the Predators playing in their own lobbies together. What are you going to have them wait all day to play one game? Like, that's not reasonable. You have to at some point bring them down and bring some of the platinum players in and some of the lower ranked players, but it's like, how do you then justify that? Like, now in Diamond, you're really just playing with a bunch of Predators and you're getting scored. At least it costs an extra less point to get in, but we'll see. They also changed a couple things where it now costs, like they inflated all the numbers for rank, so you're going to be able to get assists. You can get multipliers for assists. You can get RP for assists. So, like, they're changing a lot of cool things with it. We also got to see the crypto story, which was really cool. I love what they're doing, building out the lore of the game. They did one for Wraith. If you didn't see that, that was awesome. At least I really enjoyed it. I think it's cool. And then it kind of ties some of the skins in as well. Same thing with crypto. Really cool how they've been teasing them throughout. Even in the Season 2 launch, you got to see a little teaser of them. And then, you know, it just keeps on developing. I really, really like that direction that it's going. But they also, the other thing that we haven't heard anything about, so Season Pass, cross-platform. They talked about cross-platform when the game first was coming out. They said it was some article, we talked about it on the podcast as well, that they wanted to go cross-platform. Now, Modern Warfare is coming out at the end of the month, and they're going full cross-platform. We're going to talk about more Modern Warfare in a second, but they're going full cross-platform on that. And that's, I think people underestimate the value of that, especially to really casual players, who is like the majority of all players. I feel like, at least, even games that I play casually, like Fortnite, for example, I feel like that is such a huge thing. Like, I'm able to play with some of my nephews and some of my buddies that don't play on PC Like, I feel like that's just a big connector and a big factor. They said it's something they were working on. They haven't said anything else about it. I haven't seen anything about it. I did hear rumors, at least of my chat telling me things in chat, just saying, hey guys, they're going to have cross-platform coming this season too. That's what my chat's been telling me. I don't know where they're getting that from. I don't know what they've been, I don't know. I've also heard a lot of people talking about PvE coming to the game. I don't know about that either. I haven't seen anything about that. So I'm keeping my ear to the ground on it, but it's still, that's kind of like the still waiting. And just like what's the battle pass going to be for season 3. So that's what I'm really excited for. And huge news on that. We'll probably talk about it more on the stream today as well, because it's just it's exciting that they decided to go with the new map rather than just continuing to tweak the current map. The real question with the new map, though, this is what I wanted to talk about as well. And I was talking about this before a lot with my buddies as we've been playing. It's like, okay, if they do a new map, how are they going to balance this versus what PUBG has done and what Fortnite has done? These are the two big predecessors in terms of the Battle Royale genre. These are the biggest, some of the biggest games right now. Fortnite is arguably the biggest game. The approach that they've taken is constantly introducing new updates to the same exact map. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, however, they didn't do any updates. They came out with Miramar, which is the second map. Then they came out with Sandhawk, which was another map. And they had a huge distinction between these in that it was different map size, different map environment, layout, same player count. So you have the first one they launched was a giant map. And now everybody's like spread out, because before there was water on all the perimeters. Now it's not water, it's actual land. Like you can go out and loot there. And some people actually drop there and loot there. And now everybody's spread out. The games take forever. A lot of people really like that, but it just divides everybody. Same thing with Sandhawk is now even a smaller map, and it condenses everybody down. The games go way faster, still the same player count. And then they added another bigger map again, which is kind of similar. And then everybody just wants to go play the original map. They don't even care. They're just like, screw it, I'm just going to go play the original map. That's the most popular one. Or I think the small map Sandhawk is as well really popular. But the difference of what they did, though, was they introduced map selection. So you can choose which map you wanted to play. And that, okay, there's a couple things here. First, they made it so it was just random. This was a huge problem because guess what? New map's out. You got on the old map. Guess what everybody's doing? They're backing the hell out of that game and going to the other one. Now, every lobby is dead. Everybody's just trying to chance their way into it. It was terrible. Then they decided to make it so you can select which map you wanted to play, and that was pretty much equally as terrible because nobody chose the maps like Miramar, and those just never got played or whatever. Some people liked it, and it worked for a period of time. It definitely did work. I haven't really been playing the game lately, so I don't exactly know. I'm pretty sure they switched back to it just being random, or you can kind of select, and they kind of actually grouped a few of the maps together. Anyways, it's going to be really interesting to see what they decide to do with this. This is just the trailer that we've seen. To me, I think the best approach, if they're going to keep the old map. Now, during the trailer of this, you heard Mirage say that we're going to this new planet. So it seems like this is going to be a big shift over here. Let me play it back, actually.
What was that? Like, whatever. Like, I'm afraid of another planet.
Yeah.
Pack your bags. We're moving to a new arena.
Pack your bags, we're moving to a new arena. So to me, I'm dude, oh my, I just realized this. Hold on. Look at he's literally reading a magazine with a picture of himself. I just realized that. All right. Anyways, to me, that makes me think, okay, and they try and keep the lore and everything in the back going with it, right? So I think this is going to be a permanent like shift to the new map. We're not going to be able to play the old map. Everybody's going to this new arena, which I think is great decision to do, especially for the first, like, okay, at least a first week or two, it needs to be just the new map, because you're going to run into the problem if it's random, or even if you could select, less people are going to select the old map. It's like, let's just give it at least a period on this. But I don't know what they're going to do. So that's one of the strengths of what Fortnite has, is it keeps everybody together on the same page. But the bigger problem is if that new map sucks, then it's really going to suck and tank the game. So I'm hoping for it that the map is approximately the same size of what's already there. To me, the map and what they did with the first map and everything was great. It was awesome. in terms of the player count, the ratio, I think the zone timing can be adjusted a little bit more, especially for the casual games. It doesn't really ever get to the end game. Like, you never get to the final zone. But, I was pretty happy with where it was there. And if they replicate that, but just give us different areas, so now we have different line of sights, different angles, different things to learn. That's what I'm really looking for. That's what's going to refresh the game for me and keep it so I'm more looking to play. Especially same thing with the new character as well. But yeah, I can keep talking about this forever. So I'm going to move on to the next thing. We'll talk more about it on stream too. The other thing, though, you guys might be able to tell, I've moved. If you are watching this, you might even be hearing it and hearing some of the reverb in the background. I'm still working on improving everything here. The good news is my setup is pretty much complete. I got everything moved over last weekend. That's why I was gone from the podcast last week or 2 weeks. It's been 3 weeks since I've done this. So I've been talking more during my streams as well, especially during the intros, but it's not the same as putting something out like this where I'm not distracted by alerts and games and whatnot and everything going on, so I could just talk better and just kind of focus. I do want to bring some guests on, do all that, like I said, some more, but we'll see how all that goes. The biggest thing for me about this new move is I didn't really move far from where I was before. I'm still in the same kind of area. I love the area up here. It's awesome. I'm up in the Pacific Northwest, for any of you guys who don't know. And in the Portland, Oregon area. I moved up here 5 years ago or something, and it was way more affordable for me. I'm originally from California, and it's just been great. Anyways, I needed to move to a bigger space. So first of all, I could actually have more office space because my last camera was a wide-angle lens, so it looked like it was a really nice big room. If any of you guys are into photography, you already know. You get a nice wide-angle lens, you put it in a corner somewhere, it makes the place look gigantic. And it worked really well, but it was a really tight space, and it was perfect. I literally improved that space. I put a photo up on my Instagram, too. I improved that space to the maximum that I possibly could, and I wanted to keep going. I want to keep, you guys are supporting the content. You're loving all the stuff that I'm doing, whatnot. I gotta keep expanding, keep working, and part of that to me is, just having more space here. My closet is literally bigger than I had two closets of the guest room and my room that were just packed with boxes and stuff that I just couldn't even fit in. So now I have a bigger closet to where I can actually put stuff away and get more organized with it. It's taken a lot of time to set it up, but I got, at least right now, my desk set up, which is a standing desk. It's great, dude. I got but this time I actually did cable management too. I spent a lot of time dealing with the cable management, and it looks great. Once I got to replace a couple more cables, then I'll probably post and show you a little bit more of it. But it's been super exciting. But moving my personal life and my work and everything all over is just been a lot. As well as I went to a wedding last weekend for Muggs. That was incredible. He's been on the podcast before as well. Dude, it was a really fun wedding, and he actually streamed it too, it's really interesting because it's and there was a lot of other creators that were there too. But it's so much to me it's a very different type of platform where it's much more, I don't know if the right word is authentic to a degree, because obviously we're creating content. We have some goofs and some gaffes out here and there. But at the end of the day, it's very much we're all just good friends, and it's fun to be able to be a part of that. And, the other people there, meet people and whatnot. So it was really cool. And to stream it too, and kind of put it out to at least, some of the audience who watched, it was pretty cool. It wasn't the super high quality production, crazy value, but that's what this is to a certain degree. So it was a lot of fun too. And, I couldn't spend a lot of time. I was out in Chicago, so I couldn't spend a lot of time there. I did get some deep dish pizza, which was awesome. And yeah, that was, I'm getting hungry now. So, let's move on. The other thing that happened this week was, and we do have questions as well. I did get some questions from the supporters earlier today. But earlier this week, I also hit 60 in WoW Classic. I finally did it. It was huge. I kind of screwed up on my way there, but we got it. I played, for those guys who haven't seen it at all, I've been streaming some of it. as playing a mage. You can kind of cheese the system a little bit as a mage and just do some big AoE, level up really fast. And that's what I wanted to do. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Made it up. And that's kind of something that's super, super different from literally everything we've been talking about. That's just kind of something. Even yesterday, somebody was asking like, oh, what's your hobbies outside of this? And my hobbies is literally like it's just the content. It's the content that I've been creating. Now it's also been pipeline as well. That's more or less my hobby right now. And then, playing other games that I don't typically get to stream is what I'll do. So like I played Zelda. That was, I think, the last game that I had played on the Switch. That came out a while ago. So, but I don't spend a lot of time on stuff like that. But it was really cool. And because I played a while back in the day, we've talked about it on the podcast before, but I wanted to play something different. I didn't get to play a mage back in Classic, and I really wanted to. So that's been fun. My hope is to find some teams that I can play with. I am playing Horde Fairlina server, which has a ton of big guilds on it, and it's a huge server. I want to try and figure out some raiding and doing some stuff like that because I think it's going to be fun for the content too. But a different style of game, as was Borderlands as well. We played Borderlands a few times. I only got to like level 20, 25. Some people just blew right through the whole game. I don't stream in super long chunks of time, so I couldn't really make a ton of progress. I had fun with what I played. It was quite buggier than I thought it would be, surprisingly. Actually, after this podcast, I got to give away. I did 5 codes on Twitter too. I got to give those away. Anyways, but it was a really cool experience. I got to play halfway through Borderlands 2 with some of my buddies, and I really enjoyed playing when I had my friends to play with. It was so much better to me than playing solo. Although when I was playing solo, I felt like I really enjoyed the story of what was going on more, but it didn't feel like it was a super great story to me in general, in terms of like I was compelled enough to where I want to play through it solo. I'd rather play it with some friends. And so I potentially will continue through it if I get some of my buddies to play. But yeah, that's where I was at with that. We also played Breakpoint too. See, it literally 3 weeks go by, and there's just too much to even talk about. But we played Breakpoint as well. That game too. I didn't do well in that game. If you saw my video or stream on that, or Tom's video, our buddy Tomographic, I didn't do well on that game. I ended up dying a lot for a game that's, you know what? Let's just leave it at that. But cool game. I saw they did have PvP out. I watched a little bit of that. It looks like it's extremely tactical, but it's also a third-person game that they're trying to make extremely tactical. So it kind of breaks the whole everything that makes it tactical, though, because you're sitting behind a wall completely safe, able to look around a corner, which is not real life tactics. Like, I think it's super cool. Like, they have the drones and some of the like the tech and stuff in the game, like the night vision and stuff. But that's very much like that's what the game is. It's a third-person game, so I can't, that's just my own little. That's what I think. I don't know. But that game has very much always been a third-person. Like that's its style, and so to each their own, man. To each their own. But anyways, that's where I was kind of out with it. So we'll see what I keep playing in the next few weeks. We got Modern Warfare coming out, which is going to be really exciting. And actually, I had a couple questions from the chat, which I did want to get some of these, as well as some of the other ones, if you guys had any other ones as well. Brett Mark actually asked one that I think I should mention here too. Will you ever bring back the YOLO CO videos? Love the content. Found you from those. Occasionally we do it live. Lately, I've been playing a ton of Apex. We did one episode on Apex, and it kind of was, it was funny. Like I could make it funny, especially with some of the randoms when they do talk. But nobody freaking talks in that game, dude. As well as all these other games. And the thing for me with doing the YOLO series is I want people's reactions, man. I love it. And so many of the reactions now too are literally like, "Oh, hey, I know you. This is great." And it's like, I want the reaction to be what it was. And maybe I'm just too particular with it or whatever. I'm kind of hoping secretly that everybody kind of forgets about it. So then it comes back. And then when I do it, everybody's like, who is this guy? What is this? And then it's just like, banging again, but it also needs to be the right game. PUBG was literally, I think, you could say the same thing about Division. Some people thought the Division was the greatest series that I had ever done for it, for Battlefield as well, of course. And like, I've done it on a bunch of games, but actually did it on a Ghost Recon game once as well. But anyways, it's like, you got to find the right mix, and it was just a golden PUBG dropping was just a damn golden time for it, man, because everybody was talking. Everybody was even talking in game on the other teams. They left it on all chat. And so I tell you what, the next time there's a really banging game that's perfect for it, we're blowing it through the roof. And you know what? I think that Call of Duty might work for it. It might be a little bad because we might die a bunch. This is kind of, like a little look behind the scenes of what I'm thinking about when I'm creating some of this stuff for you guys. But I love the series. I know you guys love it too. I'm glad I can still create a bunch of other content like the top plays, the podcast, and some of this other stuff too. But yeah, there's definitely gonna be some more of that. And I'm working with some editors now as well that I want to step up and start to branch some of that out. More likely it'll be maybe for later this year or next year. I've obviously been spending a lot of time on Pipeline and some of these other things, which has been great. But yeah. It's a ton of fun. Anyways, Yukon C asked, any word on any updates for the Facebook streams coming? He was specifically talking about picture-in-picture wasn't working, and I just wanted to address this because I see a bunch of messages about this all the time where stuff on Facebook isn't working. There was also some messages as well about the subpocalypse, which happened for me on the end of last month. It's almost been a month since then. I don't even think I addressed it on this yet. But yeah, there's been a ton of issues with it, and there's still a lot of baseline improvements that I think need to be made for the platform still. That I'm really hoping that it does, and I'm continuing to give feedback. That's literally, I've been doing this I did my first stream on Facebook 3.5 years ago. So I've been giving them feedback for ages. And, there's still a lot that I'd love to see done. Obviously, there's a lot more people on the platform now that are also giving them feedback, and not even just from a gaming standpoint, but from a general standpoint. Like if you're talking about the supporters, for example, there's magicians that have it. There's just families that use it. And they're testing it in a bunch of different ways. So, I think a lot of it is very much experimental right now. But I'm super optimistic in terms of concrete things. He was talking about like picture-in-picture. He wanted to have the picture-in-picture to work when he was doing other things on the app or on other things on his device, and it just wouldn't work or whatnot. I don't know, man. The best thing I can always say to you guys is try and report it to Facebook, which is fb.gg/feedback. I want to keep trying to drive change on the platform and keep trying to make it like as cool of a place that we can make it for gaming, for our content, for everything, and shift it. Like that's what I've been trying to do, is kind of shift it and like, see how we can make it our own in different areas, because it is a pretty robust tool. And if we could try and turn those tools into the right way, then maybe it'd be sick. But it's definitely on the right path. But we had the Subpocalypse Survivor Badge, which is if you guys were supporting prior to the issue which happened, which was basically my whole supporter system got shut down, and people who were supporters, they couldn't just force you guys to become supporters once again on the channel. So it's literally like I now have to translate that to everybody and say, hey guys, there was an issue. You got automatically canceled or refunded or whatever, and you got to redo all of the stuff. Go through it again. And it's very hard to get people to do that. So it's been an absolute mess. And that badge is one of the things that, like, I was talking to Facebook, and that was one of the things that they created special for myself and for my audience to help make up for it, which was it's a special badge. If you were a supporter prior to that, and when that issue happened, you'll get that badge, which is, it's kind of cool. It's a really cool thing that they did. But that's some of the type of issues that, like, I've experienced these types of things for literally years streaming on the platform. And that's where it's like, there's still a long ways to go, I think, with stuff. But that's also what makes me really excited about it too. When there is still so much that can be made better. And then, maybe another year from now or whatever it might be, when it is banging, it's just going to keep growing. So that's what I'm really excited about. That's what I think, at least. Isaiah also asked specifically about Modern Warfare. PlayStation is getting an exclusive mode for a year for Modern Warfare. If you guys don't know, Call of Duty, the game is only good for a year, if not a few months, because the next year, another game comes out. Hey, remember Call of Duty Black Ops 4? That's a year old. How many people are still playing that? Well, actually, there's quite a few, at least on console. But probably going to be a lot less as soon as the new game comes out. So I think this is a really dumb thing, personally. I don't even know what the mode is, though, per se. I'll look into that. Maybe we'll talk about it on stream or for the next one as well. I got some more educating to do on myself for Modern Warfare, which is coming. I got to play a little bit of the beta, but because I was gone over the weekend for the wedding, I didn't really get to play a whole bunch of it. But I think that is ridiculous that they're doing that. The good thing is, Call of Duty is almost always done some type of exclusive thing. Now, if the mode is insane, it's really going to suck. But the rest of the game is still going to be... If it's a battle royale that they limit to it, I'm going to be pissed. I don't think that's the case, but because I like battle royales, if you haven't noticed yet. But if it's just a mode, to me, that's better than... Maybe that's not even the right mentality to have, but, that's how I am, I guess. I don't know. But, to me, that's better than them having, a month early access. If I remember correctly, it was one of the Call of Duties had literally a month of early access to whatever... I think it was the full game. It was something super early because I got it on PlayStation because of that reason. I was like, I can't deal with this as a creator. I can't wait for this, so I just have to buy it on PlayStation. And so I bought it on PlayStation and on PC. And I hated that. I hated as well, so many of the early things. I guess I hate it, though, because I'm not on the PlayStation. I'm playing on PC. So maybe if the mode is really good, maybe I just pull my PlayStation out and plug my mouse and keyboard in. The only problem is then that I'm playing on literally lower frame rate, lower, because it's just not as good as the computer. But maybe that's what I'll do. I don't know. It's a bit disappointing, though, in my opinion. But, at least they're going the direction, for me at least, of going crossplay. It is going to be cross-platform. It's going to be native. You can plug your mouse and keyboard in on your consoles natively. They're supporting that for both Xbox and PlayStation. You saw it on the crossplay beta where you can see, okay, this person's playing on Xbox with their mouse and keyboard. This person's playing on PC with a controller. This person's playing on PC with a mouse and keyboard. That game also has extremely heavy aim assist, so that's really beneficial for the console guys. I saw them destroying in lobbies with PC players as well. So, I think that's a really good direction. You can also just turn it off if you don't want to deal with that, but that should be there. And that's what I'm hopeful too, in terms of the content. We could do big supporter games, right? With everybody. No more just PUBG supporter games or community games that are only for people on PC, but maybe we could do a custom game, 32v32, and just bring everybody in. How sick would that be? Will that happen? I have no idea. But I'm hoping that it will work, and this is going to be the closest that we've gotten to that, outside of Fortnite, which only limits to about 16 people. And every time I try and play Fortnite, there's quite a bit of backlash, let's just say. Actually, Facebook, my Facebook audience, you guys are you seem to like it. A lot more people seem to be down for it here, I will say. But if I upload a video on YouTube, man, my YouTube audience is like, no way, Jose. Get out of here. Dislike. Comment. So, it's a bit more rough. But, and then I had another question here from Stephen B. He said, do you think you should... This is just an interesting question in general. Do you think you should show your face cam when you're streaming or not? And I kind of was thinking about this recently as well, because, even I think this is even a broader question of, because I've thought a lot about this, especially with my move, because I was moving and I was like, I got to set up a green screen. I got to do all this stuff because historically I've always used a green screen. No, not always, but I introduced a green screen a while ago, and I've been using my green screen for a long time because I can do some crazy effects with it, and I can make it look like I was in my arsenal. I made it look like, it was fun. I could do some fun stuff. And there was even more stuff that I never got to do that I really wanted to do with it. I may set up a green screen again in here. I'm not 100% sure if that direction I want to go. But then, like, I have buddies, like, I play with Tomographic and Aculite all the time. Those guys don't use face cams. I mean, I know what Tom looks like. He sent me one of his Instagrams one time or something, but I don't know what Aculite even looks like. Same thing with a lot of creators. I don't know what a lot of them look like. I didn't show my face on my content for a long time. I didn't have the capability to even do that. And then I kind of started to sprinkle it in. I never did like a super like a face reveal and all this stuff. I just kind of started sprinkling it in, I think. And then I posted stuff on my Instagram and stuff too. But I really think it's just up to you on how you want to handle it and what works for your content. Like, even I'm still torn on it because the content that I used to do, even though I streamed and used my face cam and stuff for that, I never used my face cam for my video content. I would only use the raw gameplay, and that I initially set my computers up so I could record my content and just have the gameplay, because like my YOLO series, I don't include the face cam and stuff with that because I feel like that takes out the immersion of what I'm doing in the game. Like, you got to believe that I'm in the game when I'm doing it. So it's like, I don't know. But I don't think it's really a huge. To me, I think it's great to have a face cam. I love watching creators who have face cams. The majority of ones that I watch do have them, especially for anything that's live. I feel like it gives it, like in the downtime, a little, at least something there. In videos, maybe not as much. I think text or other things can work really well too. But at the end of the day, I don't think it really is super important. Like, where your face cam is it a green screen? Is it that? Is it this? I don't think that's a determining factor on anything. I think that's like a side thing that I don't know. That's what I'm currently thinking about it at least, because, you know, dealing with thinking about, okay, should I set the green screen up? Is it really going to be? But I think the majority of people watching are not going to be like, F this guy, he's not using a green screen now, I'm out of here. I got to see what's right behind there right now. You know, it's like, not really. Doesn't, nobody's yelling about that. You know what I mean? All right, those are the questions that I had gotten from the post that I put out prior to this, from the supporter post, as well as a couple from the chat. Let me scroll back, see if there was any additional ones from the chat. If not, we're going to wrap this bad boy up, and we're going to get some food and come back with some regular good old streams here. Regular streams. You know what I mean? Some gaming. 1.3K watching the podcast. Incredible, Stone. Dude, hell yeah. We usually had about 100 in the supporter one. I don't know how many people are actually watching right now. About 1,000. Okay, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad there's interest for it, and of course we'll still be gaming and everything later, but this is just something a little different, and today I wanted to try it as something that was live out for everybody, no early access difference and whatnot. Instead, give the benefit as because the original reason that supporters even started, or this podcast even started, was because people were supporting. First, it was people supporting me on Patreon. And then it was people supporting me via the Facebook supporter system. We switched over to that, and there's just been requests for this type of just chatting rather than gaming, more or less. So this was something but not everybody, compared to my regular streams, these are much lower numbers, right? So it's kind of like that's where it was kind of just for the supporters, and so I want to keep that benefit in some way for everybody as well. But just finding the right kind of way to do that. And I don't know what it is. That's why we got to try it out. I've been doing the podcast since the beginning of the year. It still is out for everybody. You guys can go listen to it on iTunes, on Spotify, on everywhere. But it's something that I wanted to also try. Let's try it this way too. See what happens. Okay, let me see here. I've just been talking, not reading. Are you ready for Season 3 Apex? Oh, yeah. You're going to have to go back and listen to the front half of the podcast here, me amigo. I like the face cam, but the green screen, so it's not taking up as much room. Yeah, I do agree with that. It is that's one of the benefits. That's the reason that I've done it for so long, is that it does help. I feel like there's a benefit to that, but it is a shitload of extra work to set it up and do everything. Yeah, it makes you look more like a pro. Yep. Yeah, and it very well might be something that I reintroduce as well. I'm gone, Dylan says. All right, well, rip Dylan, I guess, you know. Ranked is awesome. No green screen. I'm out of here. See? New stickers. Yeah. Okay. The update for the new stickers is they're in the review process currently. So I posted the new stickers out. I've got them all done. There's a refresh of some of the ones I had, and there's an update to the ones that we are keeping. Some of them I could not keep because I actually had more stickers in that initial. I did the first test of stickers, one of the first tests for it, and then they added more stickers when they were doing another test for something. So I cheekily had about 21 stickers made, or like emotes. If you guys aren't familiar with Facebook, they're for the supporters, right? So now though we're limited to 16. At first I thought it was 15, so I had 15 ready, and then I was going to upload them. I saw, oh, you need 16. So that's what took me another week because I wanted to get one more made. So I got all 16 good to go. So should be good, should be coming, but I have no idea what the delay on waiting for the approval is. So anyways, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. I hugely appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, hanging out with me. I'm going to get some food, and we're going to be doing the regular podcast or regular gameplay as always. Every single weekday, live on Facebook, videos going up on Facebook as well as YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I post a lot more real-time stuff on Twitter as well as Instagram's kind of some more clips, a little bit more behind the scenes, the stories, all of that good stuff. And if you guys do enjoy the show, hey, give it a rating, give it some love out there, whether it's on iTunes or whatever. It's the only thing that, that's what keeps all the ship going here. And we'll keep on sailing off into the sunset together. That's for this one, though. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching. This is StoneMountain 64. Over and out.